from sunny Norfolk, Massachusetts. Welcome to Keeping It Positive. I'm William Nineveh.
And I'm Patrick Quinn. And we are the Big Boss Men.
Hey, Patrick, what do you think about this month? We touched base on some technology and how it's changed over the years for us here.
Yeah, it's definitely a pretty interesting topic if you really get into it, as far as everything from the way paperwork is managed to equipment and materials that are used in the field. But why don't we start back in the day with what you were doing for quotations and email? Oh, if there was no email, but yeah, I'll continue.
I remember having a computer though, because that was you did have computers. Obviously, we're not talking really that old, but
right.
With a printer, we basically used to print out our quotations, and then we would fax them out. Believe it or not, we would use a fax machine, and even on our cards today, we have fax numbers on our cards.
Right.
But we don't use a fax machine really anymore.
Not really. Would you put together like packets that you would fax over with like cover sheets and like the whole 9 yards, like for a quote?
Absolutely. We would have a cover page already done. Sometimes you'd handwrite it. Sometimes you'd type it together.
Yeah.
So put a cover page together with your quote and fax it over to a customer, and they would fax back the signature page, and then you had some sort of a contract put together just over a fax machine. And the paper used to curl up. This is before the fax machines used to use flat paper. They would curl up, and you'd come in the office in the morning, they'd be on the floor in a big pile. So
I can't even imagine what that's like. The closest thing that I can get to that is like when you have a public bid and you have to have like 6 paper copies all packaged a certain way, and you turn it in like that. But they're even starting to do away with that and have it just done by digital.
Yeah.
So that's definitely one way technology's advanced.
Or our quotations now. We're using a customized Salesforce system where we can get in there and pick the items that are being sold and estimated and pull together quotes right in the computer system that's web based. So it's all internet based.
And it took a while to get used to it, but now it's like unbelievable, right?
Yeah, it is.
And then like you start talking about stuff like in the field, like I know there was an episode where we talked about the origins of Trident, and like when, one of your first pieces of equipment was like that orange Daewoo, which was a machine that I'm very familiar with because it was like the first heavy iron machine that I ever worked with. And, the joysticks on both sides, they only went forward and backwards. So you were almost like a skier going like this, and that would turn you left and right. And the bucket was controlled with your foot pedals, and it's advanced so much that now even in we just bought a brand new skid steer, and there's not even a key. Like you have to punch in a digital code to turn the machine on. And
it's like a little computer in there. It's amazing.
Yeah, and everything's just digitalized and electronic, and it's the way that technology is advanced is just incredible. Another thing that we could even talk about is like text messages, right? Text messages. I mean, back in the day, you used to pay like 10 cents a text message, right? Like something like that.
And you had to do really weird texting. You had to push the number
3 times
to get to like the letter C. It was kind of weird, right? And now everyone has these smartphones and smart devices that are amazing. You can we actually use it to do some dispatching of our drivers, right?
We do. Yeah. I've even with customers, like sometimes customers will text me details about a job that they want me to put together for a bid, or I did a change order. It was the first time ever I did a change order that was agreed upon by text, and I used it as like the screenshots of the text messages to prove that he had agreed to the change orders. And that was, I don't even know, 3-4 years ago or something, but like that is a progression as far as like technology goes. And it's wild it's a wild ride to be a part of, for sure.
Especially with smartphones. Everyone has a smartphone. It's like a little computer that you're traveling with. So I guess it kind of makes sense that that's happening.
Yeah, for sure. And it's just almost a dumbed down version of an email at this point. And I think you're going to continue to see that progress in that manner as far as marketing, or just, being a more standard and acceptable form of communication.
Yeah, talking about marketing, early on days when we were doing cold calls, we would kind of warm the calls up by sending out a text message at night. I would put together a 1-page flyer of whatever topic of choice I wanted, and I would fax that document, not knowing who would get it in the office, but someone in that office would get it. And I would send it out to 50 people. And then the next day I would do 50 complete cold calls, but that just got warmed up a little bit because my fax was curled up on the floor in their office and they had to open it up. So at least they had heard of the company at that point. And that was kind of like early days marketing, where today it's totally changed. All the techniques we're doing now.
Right. I mean, and the pandemic, I think, has even pushed that progression further. You got digital trade shows and stuff, which I don't know how everyone else's experience with them are, but currently they're a little bit to be desired. So,
yeah, those are my favorite way. It's not my favorite thing to do is a virtual trade show, but we have participated in a few of them.
Right. It'll be interesting to see how that progresses, especially if the people keep staying in lockdowns and stuff like that, and how will that manifest in the future? It'll be interesting to watch.
Yeah, so that's, I guess, a couple of things of some changes in technology that we've seen from early days till today. Yeah. So why don't we keep this episode pretty short, Pat?
I mean, I could keep talking, but you're right. We got to wrap it up.
Okay.
So until next time, guys.
See you then.